Hello Scorpio, welcome to your weekly reading with me, Cindy. So Scorps, this week it's all about the ancestors. So calling in an ancestor to come in and give you a message. They've been interesting. They've been very interesting to say the least, like fascinating stories, because I do ask a bit about the person who's coming forward now. The best way to approach this reading is to imagine yourself if you're at a group reading, like in person, and there's one medium or psychic and they're doing the reading, and they're pulling off the energy of the whole room. So there might be points in the story that really resonate with you, and then it comes back again, because it's almost like there's definitely more than one energy that comes through, but it's almost as if they create a storyline so that I can articulate something to you that has to do with your journey in life. Because the idea is, why is this guide, why are these guides showing up, these ancestors, to communicate to you? So I start with my spellcaster's deck. However, it's reduced. The only cards in here are the major arcana and the court cards. And I use that to try to get an idea of like who this person was. There's a lot of times it can kind of tell us if this was a man or a woman, how they viewed themselves as a man or a woman in their, I don't know, I guess, I want to say overall, and because we have many past lives. So at least in the past life where they're coming through, because we're going to get a bit of information about their story, a significant part of their life, and that I'm finding comes through because it ends up being part of the message for you, and which makes a lot of sense. If you have an ancestral guide that is helping you in this lifetime, and there's something that they've experienced through a lifetime or lifetimes, and they're here to help you through a very similar experience. So that's where we're going to go, and then I am going to start with, then I'll get into after the Energy Oracle deck, I'll get into my Light Seers Tarot and ask for a specific message from them. There is an extended at the end of this also. The link is at the top of the description. In the extended, I go into the Journey of Love Oracle deck, and I get a message of encouragement from them to you, which they're so beautiful. They're really beautiful messages. And then I do go into the tarot to ask, what is this ancestor trying to guide you towards? Why? What is the lesson in this? And then what is the next steps for you moving forward? So let's get started with my reduced tarot deck. And I'm still where I had an adjustment on my orthodontic device on Monday. Not bad. But I do still talk a little bit like Sylvester Pussycats. Bear with me, I get a little bit better. A little bit better. Some words I can't get time wrapped around it. Anything else to tell Scorpio about this person, this person's energy? Who is this ancestor coming through? Who is this ancestor coming through to speak to Scorpio? Who is this ancestor coming through to speak to Scorpio? That's easy. If we just have the one card, it's pretty easy. It looks like it. The King of Fire. The King of Wands. King of Fire, baby. Wow, that was interesting. The King of Fire. Huh. That might be something important to somebody. I mean, it is about the fire element. This person may have been an Aries, Leo, or a Sagittarius. I feel very strongly that this was a man. It's very much, I'm getting a very macho man. Like, this is a very, this person was very attractive. And I don't want to just say for their time. I mean, this person in any time was very attractive. Almost like wow. The energy that this person exudes is really sexy. This was a really sexy guy. Interesting turn. This is a nice turn. I don't know what he's coming through to help you with, but it might be good. I'm gonna see. Now this guy, it is interesting. Yeah, he's making me blush a little bit, this guy. Okay, so the Justice card is at the bottom. I do feel, and that would make a lot of sense, because this is the sort of individual that really kind of knows who they are and what they want. They can be very creative in how they pursue what these things are. Very creative individual. as well. Like this person just exudes magnetism. This is a really magnetic person. Was a very magnetic person. Also in doing these readings, and I say because it feels like they're right here. Like what I'm doing, it feels like they're right here as the story starts coming out of the card. This person you may or may not have been alive when this person was. Like this person may have actually passed on even as well before you were born. And we do have ancestral guides that function like that for us in our lifetimes, definitely. So take it, like it could be someone that you are vaguely familiar with in stories of your family or pictures that you've seen. This guy likely had facial hair, like that would have been a distinguishing feature of this person. I just want to say, like, a really sexy guy here. So let's see what the sexy guy is here to talk to you about. I believe this is Scorpio to have the sexy ancestor coming through. Everyone else, it's felt very much kind of like, I want to say like Joan of Arc energies. Like, there's been really strong female, yin, feminine energy coming through. This is a very masculine. This is a very masculine. Which is good because we need a different perspective. We need a different story. We need the balance, right? And it does feel like it's been heavily feminine energy this week. There has been at least one or two other where masculine came through. This is very, and I kind of like that only the one King of Wands, just the King of Wands came out. It was like, yeah, no, this is me, baby. You don't need to tell them anything else except this. Interesting. So, wow. This person, okay, I gotta say it. This person is here to help you find victory in your life. A certain aspect of your life, you're going to have victory. This person is determined. This ancestor is determined. And I say that because this is at the bottom, and it constantly was falling out when every time you picked up the deck, just to fling it around and use my, my Italian arm gestures. I can say that because all my Italian friends are here. Yeah, right? Very expressive. So, this victory card kept falling out constantly, and here it is. Victory and justice. Really nice. Help and guide you to your path. Like, you pick the path. This guy might have been a bit of a charmer. Some of the phrases that are coming out are really funny. Like, you pick the path, honey. It's all good. But he wasn't chauvinistic. I really am not getting that from this guy. He was just, yeah, because I feel like this person was very much a free spirit, but also really, really quite in tune to recognizing people and personalities. And he sort of knew, I want to say, like, he could kind of put himself in any social dynamic, any social economic dynamic, and be successful with the crowd. He may be pulled back sometimes, other times, work in the crowd, and knows exactly how to speak to people in a way to communicate with them that he's still not, that's the best way to say it. He was not in any way pretending to be something he wasn't. But he sort of knew, it's really hard, like, the energy of this person was never disrespectful or, it was just never disrespectful. I feel like people really enjoyed the company of this man. He likely had a lot of friends. He had a lot of friends. He just exuded success. I do want to say, like, whether he was successful on how a lot of people would view success, and he was successful. This is success, honey. But, like, he could be, I don't know that he lived in a time where there was, like, executives, and he could be in a crowd of them and be talking like that, and then nobody was like, yeah. It's just because they were enamored with maybe how comfortable he was in his own skin, but yet he wasn't a failure in life. That's what I really want to say. This person was not a failure in life. Was maybe not, driving the most expensive car or the nicest horse. How long ago this was. But you could tell this person was happy, and like maybe, I'm not sure that this person was in any sort of committed relationship either. So this may not have been, well, I mean, no, it could still be a father or grandfather. I don't feel like this person shied away from their responsibilities though. I think they were very unconventional. That's what I'm trying to pin on this poor person. They were very unconventional. So I'll show you the cards that came out to describe sort of a path, a point in time in their life. We have the Temple path. We have Patience. We have Anxiety. I'm like, this is not, yeah, I don't know that the King of Wands, this was maybe the one thing that he had to really work on in life. And maybe that's something that he's here for you on. Because with these two cards coming after each other, I really get that. Like, being patient, but it kind of causes an anxiety here. Maybe it's, like, this guy could play his cards well. I really feel like this individual could really play his cards well. But there may have been, well, there was at least one point in time in his life where he was pushed, I feel, beyond a point of how far his patience can go, and it started causing anxiety. And then the Magician in the Mirror. Yeah, there was a real balance needing to be achieved here. To manifest something of great desire, I'm hearing. To manifest something of great desire that is almost, it's again, not necessarily trying to manifest something that is easily identifiable and tangible to, you know, the mass crowds that, you know, people walking around doing their thing and participating in life and society. And again, this person saw success in their own way. And I believe that they got it. I really believe that they got it, but there was a point in time where it seemed like they wouldn't. And that caused him a great deal of stress. So I do want to say, like, it's not like this ancestor would only be around, well, just this one time in your life. I feel like they come in and wait. You know, like, we have friends that I don't want to, is the lighting really weird in here with it? I'm sorry. I feel like I'm all muted out. It doesn't matter, just listen. It's just not, looking at me is not important, right? It's just listening. I feel like this person, well, any ancestor, it's like the friends that we have. We can have a, you know, let's say you have a best friend and then you have others that we kind of consider like, really like comrades in arms, you're really strong with them. But we go in and out. Like, you're not usually like, all the time with this friend, all the time with that friend. And it kind of like the energy of these friendships are always rotating and coming in and out for us. And there's points in our life when they do that. And I feel like this ancestor, because you're going to have more than one, is that works in your life. Their energy is stronger around you, more present when you are faced with situations that push your patience to the point of making you anxious. That's really what I want to say. It took me a while to unwrap that. But yeah, it's pushing you to a point of a bit of anxiety here. And it's usually something that has great meaning to you. Great meaning to you. This ancestor is very specifically involved with helping you get through those situations. Really coming into a balance, and this is pretty cool. And I like to think of the duality of Scorpio too, with like Pluto and Mars energy. It's kind of like that balance of the water and the fire. Temperance, and that's what I identify. This is like the Temperance card if this was tarot. Because this was a very passionate person. The King of Wands is a very passionate individual. You know what I'm trying to come up with, like the energy of someone like maybe a George Clooney or Warren Beatty, like that kind of, like, just this very masculine. Yeah. So let's see where I'm going to pull out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out tarot cards and ask for a specific message from this ancestor. It's almost like looking at the card, like it keeps drawing me in. Like, I feel like it's hard not to look at this person. It was hard not to. This person was walking by. A lot of people were just looking. I don't want to call it eye candy because it's deeper than that. It's something that pulls you in. Like this person had a very deep soul. Has a very deep soul. They're making me fumble with the cards. Oh, jeez. Wow. I want one more. The Ace of Wands. Yeah, see? And it's about... Okay, so I'm getting more. It's not just about things that you greatly want for yourself. Well, I'm going to expand on that is what I'm going to do. And when it feels like it's not coming in, or there's blocks, or this isn't going to happen, the anxiety that develops with that, right? So the Ace of Wands is at the bottom. And this is what I feel like. It is like things that drive your passion. What you're very passionate about. Really passionate about. Makes sense again with the King of Wands. I'm going to show you the cards and then I'm going to start clarifying like a whole bunch of stuff here. We have the Emperor. Really funny. I mean, that's the Aries card. Lots of fire. There's that kind of macho guy owning his own life and doing it real fine. Having a lot of responsibilities. It's really funny. I'm not feeling that with this card. I'm not feeling that so much with this card as I am with this. So let's see where this goes. Then we have the Nine of Wands. Maybe the responsibility is very heavy. The Tower. Temperance. And then wanted one more after Temperance and then the Four Cups. There it is. It's like, holy jeez. Almost waiting and waiting. And there it is. There was a little piece of crystal rolling around on my table today and I couldn't figure out which one was driving me crazy. Like bored. This person is bored and just kind of like giving up on the idea that something is going to happen here. Waiting and waiting. I'm just hearing like waiting and waiting and waiting. Which is not an easy thing to do for the King of Wands. That's a very earthy energy. That's like a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. I'm going to say a little more Taurus and Virgo. But yeah, that's not easy. So this is like speaking to you. That fire element, that Mars planet that helps to govern you there, Scorpio. That's when that is really triggered by something that you desire deeply. And the waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm making a lot of noise with the thing in my mouth. A lot of night energy, like this guy's about action. The Magician in the Mirror. Magician in the Mirror. Okay. It's funny that I would say when I held this, I was trying to kind of like get I only use like movie stars because it's something that most people are familiar with, right? When I said like a George Clooney, Warren Beatty sort of energy, both those individuals were sort of like bachelors for a long time. Because what I'm kind of seeing here with the clarifiers is kind of thinking you have a path, kind of thinking you know what's going on in your life and how you own it and how you run it, and then something happening that really shakes you up. A different path that maybe you didn't think about before. And I say that because eventually George Clooney and Warren Beatty did get married, but not after a very long time. It is a little bit like that energy within all of us that can be associated with, maybe a particular part in your life. It doesn't necessarily have to be with bachelorhood or maidenhood or however you want to describe that. But it could even be, just maybe not feeling comfortable living in one place for too long. I need to move, I need a new scenery. Or, not getting too close with particular friends. You're getting for a while, and then I need a new group. Like there's something in your life where you're kind of maybe a bit nomadic about it, or your thought process on it, and then something comes in and it really shakes you up, and it's something you really want. That's what this is. Okay, I haven't showed you the clarifiers yet because it's a really interesting way that it's speaking to me without holding them up individually. I will hold them up for you at a point so you can see them, but I want to keep this ball rolling where it's the message that continues to come through here with what has been produced is that there's something now. It almost feels a little bit like you don't have so much control in this situation like you used to, or like you typically did. Either the control in how you felt about something, your opinion on something, what you thought you wanted for yourself in any element of your life, and something comes through and it shakes and rattles you quite a bit, and there may be points where you almost try to release it. I can be done with this, and you can't. It's like the universe is trying to help you make a choice about a direction to take, to see something that perhaps you were always looking for, but you didn't even realize you were. It's a really interesting energy. Okay, the Temple Path, we have the Knight of Cups, moving forward with your heart. Patience, the Ace of Pentacles. You need to be patient for the new beginning. And this is like whoa, I never thought about this. And then the anxiety, like look at it's building up. Now we go from the Knight of Cups to the Knight of Wands. This is not just about feelings. This is not just about passion and desire. This is combining the two elements of water and fire, right? And the Magician and the Mirror. And that's the Six of Cups. These are soulmate journeys. Deep soul decisions that shake you up, that you didn't see sort of coming. And then with the Emperor, the Ace of Cups, the Ten of Wands, and the Four of Swords. And that's where I see like getting this message. So this is not so much having a lot of responsibility to others with this Emperor, but it is more about the inner control you have for yourself, or the control and direction you saw for your own life, or how you envisioned it going. I mean, they always say, life is what happens when we're busy making plans. That's a little bit of this energy. Life is what happens when you're busy making plans. But this is big stuff, like that comes in and really kind of shakes you. Shakes the foundation of what you thought you wanted or where you were going. And when I say what you thought you wanted, it is something that you wanted, right? And then all of a sudden something new's been presented. But it's not something you maybe even imagined. Or it could have been a fantasy and the universe kind of like, oh, here it is. What do you think of that? But then realizing when it's the wish, it's the dream, however that comes through to you, it kind of takes control of you a little bit. because it's what you really wanted. But never before experiencing the feelings or maybe the lack of control with this. So the Nine of Wands, there we go. Like that was the, you know, the Emperor feeling a little bit fatigued here. We have the Five of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, and the Page of Cups. Even feeling a bit isolated. There's that anxiety, the Nine of Swords. Isolated too, I feel like in terms of how you saw yourself. Like, almost a little bit like, who am I? Who am I talking to? Who am I looking at in the mirror? And trying to start from scratch with the Page of Cups. Because the King of Wands and the Emperor are very mature energy. But needing to start over again in how you view things, because something has changed your perspective. The Tower, Six of Wands, Ten of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles. And this Tower with these cards speak to me about like this double temperance energy and the double anxiety. Seeing victory, right? Okay, like the Six of Wands, I just like a very simple description. It's like victory. It's finding success. But then the Ten of Swords, maybe that's not really where I was going. And with the Eight of Pentacles, having a new vision about what you want to put your work into, where you want to put the effort in here. Because this person is about trying to help you get to your victory in situations where it feels very difficult to reach. And then with the Temperance card, we got the Two of Cups, the Eight of Cups, and the Two of Cups, Eight of Wands, and the Three of Wands. See, and this is what I see here. It's the Two of Cups is maybe something you never envisioned having or finding, or that this could be real, that there could be something that felt so for you. Something that just felt so much for you. Whether it's a person, it's a place, it's a way of living, maybe becoming spiritual in a way, and you're never like, I'm not that crazy crackerhead stuff. Like, well, you know, like people can have that opinion of it until something happens to them and they're like, and it can change, like it can knock you over until you experience it, right? It's a little bit like, yeah, that being kind of knocked over by something that you didn't realize you wanted so much, because it speaks to your soul, wanting to move to it so badly, but yet the Three of Wands is waiting for it. Something. I mean, who knows what it is, but there's some sort of blocks. There's energy around what it is that you really want that definitely delays it from happening. So, and then here we have the Four of Cups. I love that. I think that is so well depicted. I think it's great. I think it's a little sourpuss. I had a sourpuss yesterday, but anyways, my son. So then we have the Queen of Swords, the Sun card, and the Death card. Oh. Again, it feels like coming so close to what you want, and then something happens that stops it, almost to rebirth it again. That's what this feels like. Something that you really want, and you're moving towards it. It seems like it's gonna, and then something stops it. And then things start happening. Okay, I think the energy, things are happening, that this can be rebirthed, that there's, kind of like building the momentum again, and then something stops it again. There's like double temperance anxiety here. That's who this guy is here to help you with. So that's the message. That's who this guide is that comes through. I want to pull just a clarifier on this King of Wands. I would have liked to have met this guy. Like, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if he was a love him and leave him kind of one, or the King of Wands. Anything specifically from this King of Wands? Anything specifically from this King of Wands? Where'd it go? I saw it flip. I know what it is. Maybe it was just the one, yeah. The World. So, definitely helping you. Oh, okay, there's that message too. He's trying to tell me stuff. Oh my gosh, yeah. I will put it out there in a second. But definitely trying to help you end major cycles and begin new major cycles. Even when it feels like this is when you get stuck in the in-between energy. You're not really in the ending anymore, but you're not really in the beginning. You're stuck in this limbo. Stuck in this limbo. So, I think you did want to tell me that there's probably more than one or two people out there that you would be responsible for fathering children, because it comes through a couple times here actually, now that I'm looking at it, and it spoke to me quite, because I'm like, what is the King of Wands I want to say? And that's possible with the King of Wands, because the King of Wands can also too sometimes have commitments in more than one spot. Interesting individual, very interesting individual. The Moon is at the bottom. Now we're getting to his secrets. The Moon is at the bottom, the Unknown, and then we have the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, yeah. Well, and it's exactly kind of that energy. The George Clooney's, the Warren Beatty's, you know, all of a sudden you just don't, no idea what's coming around the corner, and then bang. Like, yeah, who is that? What is that? I never, no, this horse ain't putting up his race. Like that. This is a very interesting guy. I probably would have tried to steer clear from him, but I don't know if it would have been possible. He was very dynamic. He was a very interesting individual. Oh, wait. We're going from this sassy guy to this very gentle human being who has passed on now, Mr. Rogers. So this is my new book, and at the end of each reading this week, I flip through it randomly, and I just book a page, and because these are all just important things to remember. These are things that he has said during his lifetime. I think whether in interviews, on the show. Oh, that's the acknowledgements. Well, that's funny. I should read that. You know, I'll read it at the end, because it's really nice. Oh, I think it's where I pulled you out for a reason. I'm gonna slip a card in, and then I'm gonna try something like it's okay. I'll read that to you in a minute. If you don't want to sit through the acknowledgement portion, I'll give you your message now. Oh my gosh, everything. I constantly get understanding love this week, which is really interesting. That's a bit of it too, right? Like maybe this person never having felt for the longest time real deep love for or of something or someone, and then it comes in and it's like, you know, all the time thinking all these other people, they're fools. I don't know what they're doing. And then it hits them getting hit by Cupid's arrow, and it's serious and it's big and it's real. And then it seems to control the situation of it, has more control than they do, or you do, and you're not used to that. So, page 79 from the chapter of Understanding Love. In times of stress, the best thing we can do for each other is to listen with our ears and our hearts, and to be assured that our questions are just as important as our answers. That's so true. I really learned that doing tarot. If you want a good answer, you should ask a really good question. In times of stress, the best thing we can do for each other is to listen with our ears and our hearts, and to be assured that our questions are just as important as our answers. Yep. So I'm going to go do the extended. If you don't want to hear the acknowledgement is like a page and a half, but I think it's worth, and I think I should read it, because it sounds like it's the acknowledging Fred. And I'm guessing that this was published after he passed away. wasn't. Although it was just reissued last year. It was published the year before he passed away, which is interesting. So, okay, this book is dedicated in Fred Rogers' memory to anyone who has loved you into being. Oh, that's really nice. Have you guys ever done that? That was something that he used to do. And I guess he talked to other people about it. Taking a moment, it can be 10 seconds, 20 seconds, a minute, to think about the people that loved you into being. Like people that gave you love to help you be the person you are. So, I'm going to read the acknowledgement. I think it's really, yeah. Each one of us at Family Communications, Inc. has been privileged and blessed to have had the incredible gift of a relationship with Fred Rogers. Most of us for decades. Over the years, we've worked with him, we've laughed with him, struggled with him, and strived with him, shared our interests and concerns and feelings with him, and loved him. He helped us find the courage to be ourselves, and we've all grown professionally and personally because of what he's given us. After Fred Rogers' death, Bob Miller and Hyperion Books, a friend for 20 years, suggested that we compile a collection of quotations so that people could continue to share in and learn from Fred Rogers' wisdom. We've been especially fortunate to have Mary Ellen O'Neill as our editor because of the sensitivity and genuine care that she's given to this work. Her assistant, Elisa Lee, was a great help in organizing and collating the material. I think it's collecting the material. Our thanks go to the whole FCI team, all of whom have been a great support directly or indirectly. Particularly thanks go to Bill Eisler, who as president of FCI oversaw this project from its beginning to its fruition with his caring leadership and deep respect for Fred and Joanne Rogers and the Rogers family. Special thanks to Hayla Bluestone, Sherapan, and Kathy Cohen-Draws, who gave their thoughtful and careful attention to the questions as well as to the organization and layout of the manuscript. We're also deeply grateful to the Rogers family for their support of our continuing work at FCI. Fred Rogers dedicated his life and his work to serving children and families through television and beyond. Under his guidance over the years, we at FCI have developed a wide variety of materials, all supporting relationships between children and their families and between children and the child care providers and other professionals who care for them. Since Fred Rogers' death, many people have asked us, what's next? Just as people often ask Fred, what's next? His answer was always, this is next. And so is ours. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood continues to be broadcast on PBS, and we're building on the work that Fred Rogers began, taking his philosophy and approach into new arenas. We remain a strong company, and we're proud to carry on his legacy. Oh, that's nice. I think actually that meant to be read out there because I've been using the book, and it's actually like putting gratitude and thanks out there in a public way that we have this, that I have this, that I can share with you, each of you. So, now I am going to go do the extended. Thank you guys, you've been so patient. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.